All right. Well, let's move on here, and I have this segment here called "Ranking the Tracks" because I had us both pre-rank the tracks before we even listened to the album.
Yes.
And this is actually an idea that I stole from my friend Rachel, who might listen to this, might not. She's been doing this for a while now, and she will compile like everybody's pre-rankings and post-rankings, and I just think it's really interesting to see how that data changes. So we'll just do like top 5 to keep it short. So my top 5 before even listening were Eldest Daughter, Ruin the Friendship, Father Figure, Actually Romantic, and Honey. And that's like, I just thought, okay, like based on purely going on vibes alone, I think that that's going to be my top 5.
I think that's as good a guess as anybody was going to have, to be honest.
Because like going off of nothing, honestly. So what did you think? Like when this track list dropped, like what was your top 5?
So first I kind of went back to every album briefly just to remind myself the position of tracks on each album.
To see what you've liked the most before.
And it turns out that I think I'm actually a track 2 girly. Typically.
Really? Oh, that's interesting.
I really feel like a lot of track 2s across all of her albums really were my favorites.
Okay, what are some favorite track 2s?
I think Red
Cruel
was
Summer.
Red was on Red. Cruel Summer. Blank Space on 1989. Champagne Problems. Track 2.
That's a solid list.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I'm kind of more of a track 2 girly, and so because of that, I put Elizabeth Taylor would probably be my number 1 because I'm a track 2 girly.
Okay.
Number 2, I had Actually Romantic because I'm a romantic and I love a good love song. 3, Honey, because I love a good pop song, and it felt like it was going to be like, maybe this is
like
Taylor's
ABBA's
Espresso.
Honey Honey or something.
Honey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then Ruin the Friendship because it's not as spicy to me. And then number 5, Eldest Daughter because it's track 5. And
it's track 5, yeah.
Basically why I got the 5th spot.
Yeah. That was like a safe bet, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. So then after this, I had us rank the tracks again based on the first listen alone, which is great for Sergio because he's only listened to the album one time. So my first listen track ranking, and this has changed a lot already because Rachel also has her friends rank after 3 listens and then after 1 month. So she takes this very seriously, but it's fantastic. So my first listen track ranking, top 5 are Opalite, Actually Romantic, Wishlist, Eldest Daughter, and The Fate of Ophelia.
Okay. My top 3 are interchangeable. I feel
okay. Okay.
So I'll just tell you the order that I put them in.
Mm-hmm.
Ruin the Friendship,
okay.
Opalite, Actually Romantic, and then Wood, and then The Fate of Ophelia.
Yes. Justice for Wood. Like, she's definitely horny on Maine, but it's a really catchy song.
Yeah,
it's that Jackson catchy. 5, like, maybe interpolation. I get it.
Yeah, what can I say? I really like the really good pop songs,
Yeah. Is there anything that, like, you had, like, that like you really thought was going to rank higher, but then didn't, like, that completely surprised you?
I think Honey, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I thought Wishlist and Canceled, just the names and also how they're written, shout out Wishlist, felt like, could this be a Bad Blood or You Need to Calm Down? Mm-hmm. And I thought that I would like those more, but those were actually in my interchangeable bottom 3 of the album.
Yeah, those ranked lower for me as well. I as far as like diss tracks go on this album, I think Actually Romantic is it. I think I really like a tongue-in-cheek song like that, and I like she kind of did that with I Want to Get You Back, and obviously like Olivia Rodrigo has I Want to Get Him Back, so stuff like that I always think is really fun. So
yeah, 100%.
I think like in comparison, like if you're comparing those 3, and like if we only get to keep like one diss track, I would keep Actually Romantic.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Actually Romantic, I just loved how clever it was around like, like I said, so if you look at like You Need to Calm Down, about kind of like oh, you're gonna talk shit, then don't do it in the street instead of in a tweet.
Yeah,
Versus like
yeah,
actual romantic. Actually, you know, the fact that you talk so much shit about me and the fact that I live rent free in your head is actually kind of romantic when you think about it. And that not only, yeah, you're right, tongue in cheek, but
yeah.
also just
Mm-hmm.
think it's just such a clever way of approaching that whole situation because who can kind of relate to like periods of your life where you feel like people are just like talking so much smack behind your back, and you know, it doesn't feel great. But to kind of flip it on its head to think, I know actually, if we really think about it, it's nice that someone's thinking about me because I could
Yeah.
always count on this person. You
It's like
know,
if nobody else got me, that one hater got me.
exactly this person. Yeah, what's that saying? Like if so and so has no haters and I'm dead. That's
Yeah,
basically it.
yeah.
Like, oh, like until I'm dead, I have like a number one fan.
Right,
And so I
right.
think
But
that
it's
was so
always
funny.
like, I mean, like the sweetest revenge is like when you're living your best life and you're like, I don't think about you at all, but I love that I'm living in your head rent free.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. I feel you. Honey also dropped a lot for me because that was I thought that was gonna be my top five and it's all the way at the bottom. My
Yeah,
bottom three, just for posterity, are Honey, Elizabeth Taylor, and The Life of a Showgirl. And it's not The Life of a Showgirl is mostly because I don't love these like biographical narrative songs as much. Like I'm not a big fan. I feel like this is sacrilege to say, not a big fan of The Last Great American Dynasty. Lyrically, I feel like Life of a Showgirl, similar idea where it's like it's very like countrified, right? Where you're telling somebody's life story. But that being said, I do think that Sabrina Carpenter and Taylor Swift together sound very well. Like they're well matched as duet partners.
yeah. You know what? I definitely agree. It just that song is more run of like the. It's kind of in the middle for me. I don't really
Mm-hmm.
love it, and I feel like some other songs are stronger, but they didn't. Yeah, definitely. It was towards the end of my top 10, but like kind of closer to the middle, I guess I would say.
Yeah, yeah. I feel you. Um, all right, so just to wrap up here, as it stands right now, if you were to grade this album, what would you give it, knowing that it has the potential to grow? So everybody take this with a grain of salt.
Are we doing it out of 10 or out of 5?
Whatever
Or out of
whatever
100?
you want. You want to do like A to F? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably solid B.
I was gonna say a B too. A B for
Yeah.
now.
A B for
Yeah.
now, and it can grow on me. I mean, listen, I guess I would say is that putting the lyrics aside for a second, because that's really what's going to help me personally as a fan resonate with those songs. In my opinion, these are quite possibly the best melodies she's written in the last couple of albums. Not to say the last albums were bad at all because they were great. These might be the best melodies she's written in a while, and the music itself is very good.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to get myself on a tangent about how great and how much I love Jack Antonoff because I really do. So I don't want to make
You
sure
know
that I
that
give him
if
his
Jack
flowers.
Antonoff has no fans, you're dead.
Exactly. But musically, these were really great, and I think it's just like, and I think it's because like, I'm not gonna get on. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna get on a tangent, but like, it's like this cheap. It's like it's almost as if they're playing, you know, different. Like they're playing maybe the same instruments, but they're like different brands or different shapes. It's sort of like when you know, not no two acoustic guitars sound the same. Some sound a lot bigger, some sound tinier, some sound warmer, some sound brighter, and that's how I really like think about when I listen, because you made a comment earlier about how like maybe this is a little bit more in vein of Midnight's, and I definitely agree, but I do think that like the difference in production is really that effect. They're
Yeah.
playing the same quote unquote instruments, but they're like different brands, they're different shapes, and they
Yeah.
one sound. And I think that because
It's like the 808 drum kit where it's like that ushers in Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody, but
and
it's
that's what
also now
Jack is
used
using.
and that's all but that's also what they use now as like a deep bass in a lot of hip hop and R&B.
Exactly, 1,000%, and and Jack loves him some 808s, and so like
Yeah,
he
yeah.
uses that. Where Max Martin and Johann Shelback are also using virtual instruments, but it feels like the reference for those are rooted more in that kind of disco, funk, pop era. Like again, ABBA really comes to mind, and so anyways, but like so musically and melodically, I actually think. Um, if you don't really count the twin albums during the pandemic, this might be like her strongest melodies, and musically the album must be the strongest in a while, to be honest. And lyrically, time will tell how that sits with me. So so I think B is where I'm comfortable, but I can't. But if one day I wake up and the lyrics really resonate with me, it could be an easy A. So time will tell. We'll see.
For sure. Where just for posterity, what is your top favorite Taylor Swift album? Are you still a Red girl?
Do love it has changed. So it has changed a little bit. Like I was such a Red girl for so long, and it might be Folklore. I guess what I would say is the type of fan I am is I think what resonated with Taylor Swift with me as a fan from the get-go, like probably for so many of us, is for me and Taylor are like the exact same age. It always felt like she was writing the soundtrack to my life. And I felt like even though she was a woman and going through life from that perspective, I did always feel like my life was kind of mirroring hers, what we were going through. And I think that once it hit Reputation, it took a change because I couldn't possibly know what it's like to be canceled, basically.
Yeah, you're like, I don't have enough haters for this.
And that's
I'm
where
not
like
bitter enough.
And from basically Reputation onward, it's hard for me to relate to her experiences. However, listen, you go through a couple bad breakups and suddenly Folklore sounds real good. And so I think possibly Folklore might be my favorite now. But listen, I bleed red.
Yeah, I know that's if you take Folklore and Evermore out of the equation, then it's Red would still be number one. Huh?
I probably think so.
Yeah, okay. I think that a lot of people would agree with you there. Well, that about does it for our Taylor Swift, The Life of a Showgirl instant reaction review. We hope that you enjoyed listening to us talk about this album for the last hour or so. This is going to be about 50 minutes when it's done. So thanks for joining us for that. If you're still listening, be sure to follow us on your favorite podcast app and leave a review as well, because that really helps us out. You can follow us on social media. We're What the Hype Podcast on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram. And on X, we are What the Hype Show. Our website is whatthehypepodcast.com. And if you want to email us about anything at all, or if you want to send in your own Showgirl thoughts, you can do so by reaching us at whatthehypepodcast@gmail.com. Finally, if you have a friend or family member that needs a little bit more Taylor Swift talk in their lives, be sure to share this episode with them and let them know that we're walking through a different aspect of pop culture each and every week here on What the Hype. Sergio, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, of course.
And maybe you'll be back at some point.
Who knows?
Who knows? We'll see you all next time. Bye.